Volle Stuhlreihen, zufriedene Gesichter. Elliott Masie sorgte für beides. Der Auftritt des amerikanischen E-Learning-Gurus gehörte zweifelsfrei zu den Highlights der Kongressmesse Learntec, die Ende Januar 2017 in Karlsruhe ihr 25-jähriges Jubiläum feierte. Managerseminare TV traf den weltweit anerkannten Futuristen zum Interview.
Elliott, in your opinion, which are the most important learning trends at the moment?
Well, I think the number one trend is personalization. When we are home, we pick up our mobile phone and we learn what we want, how we want it, for the amount of time that we want it. When we come to work, they give us a course. The learner will take the course, but they want to make it personal. So that's number one. Number two, the learner wants some recommendations. There are so many choices. I could watch 5 different videos on YouTube, on TED Talks from the university. So the learner would like ratings, rankings, recommendations. The third piece, which is not new, is that they want to combine e-learning, the electronic learning, with me and you learning. They want a conversation. They want somebody who will answer their questions or ask them questions. And the learner needs to verbalize what they've learned digitally. So those are some of the trends that we're tracking.
What about classroom learning? Does it have some kind of future or will it completely disappear?
Well, we've always gathered in classrooms. We used to gather around the fire to tell stories. But we didn't take 8 hours and have a 100-page PowerPoint. I think the classroom is very important, but it may not look like a traditional classroom with the instructor at the front with an overhead projector. Many major corporations, Universal, NBC, in the United States, the Marines, are changing their classrooms to labs or laboratories. They are experiential, they're action-oriented, and bluntly, they're shorter. The 1-week class is a 3-day class. The 3-day class is a 1-day class. The 1-day class may be a webinar. It's still important to have a gathering, but we might not always call it a classroom, and it won't be in the same format.
What consequences will this have for the learning professionals?
We have a big job as learning professionals, but it's changing. We need to be a combination of skills. What we've always done as maybe we call them learning designers, I don't like that word, I call myself a learning producer, and I produce Broadway shows. But we have to add 2 other skills. The skill of a librarian, the skill of thinking about how we organize, and finally the skill of a journalist who does exactly what you're doing. The learning professional needs to know how to interview. They need to know how to put content together in an efficient way. We're not going away. It's a very important skill, but finally, we need to combine it with business knowledge. I tell many of my friends, maybe get your degree in learning, but also maybe get a business degree, because the learning professional has to be able to combine education with the reality of business.
In what ways could and should companies facilitate lifelong learning for their employees?
It starts at the top. You have to have the president, the executive, the members of the board have to be visible learners. It's important, I think, for the president or the senior executives every month to say, here are 2 books I am reading. When they take a trip, let's say they take a trip to Brazil, they should, while they're in Brazil, take out their phone and do a video. What did I learn in Brazil? The way in which you can have lifelong learning is 2 things need to be true every day. The learner believes that today they will learn something new from their colleagues, and B, they will teach something new to their colleagues. If those are true for the new hire and for the CEO, that's the basis of lifelong learning.
Everybody is talking about disruption. What disruption is there in learning?
Well, in the United States, our new president used the word alternative facts. And I think we're going to have to get ready for fake news and alternative facts in the world of learning. An employee goes online and sees, oh, well, maybe we don't need to do that. I read an article. Is it true? Cybersecurity. One of my relatives was hacked the other day. Somebody called her up and told her her machine was bad, and she sent him a $200 check. So disruption comes from those maybe bad places, but the other place disruption comes from our learners are moving faster than the learning field is. For example, I have a phone that's almost as good as your wonderful camera. So the learner says, well, maybe I don't need the great camera. I can do it myself. They go on and they search for what their home television is probably better than the monitor in the classroom. So disruption happens because business is changing, technology is changing, our careers are changing. It's not good, it's not bad. It just means that you can't be predicting stability if you're in the learning field. And finally, don't believe it all. There are things where everyone says, this is the future. I remember in mid-2000, people said, we won't have classrooms. We're all going to go on and we will be virtual cartoon characters online. It wasn't true. So some of the things that look exciting may not last. And as a learning person, you need to smile and try it and move forward.
Learntec is celebrating its 25th anniversary. Looking back, what has been for you the crucial turning point for the development of e-learning?
The internet. Wikipedia says I helped to make the word popular. I don't know if it was me alone, but when the internet came out for the first time, the learner could be connected to content and to other people. That was probably the most provocative piece. The second part was the mobile phone and the device. Not necessarily to take a structured class on, but for instance, to watch a video like this. It suddenly means they could watch this video anywhere, anytime. If we think about the word E, it doesn't stand for electronic. It stands for everyone, everywhere, every time, evolving, effective, efficient, engaging, entertaining. So it is that combination of the internet connecting us and then the ability of the learner to start to say and have control over how she or he learns.
And what will be the crucial turning point in the future, in your opinion?
I think our careers will change a lot. I think we won't do the same job all our life. I think our university degree maybe will have an expiration date of 5 years on it, that we will have to go back. I think we will have to become more rapid as learners, and I think and I hope we'll have to prove our readiness over and over again. I like to play video games. Well, I want to put that sense of excitement and urgency into learning. So I think we're going to change how we work, and when we change how we work, we're going to have to change how we learn.